Hi, I'm Matt from Rocketman Mototech Cairns. Just a quick video today to let you know what we're going to be up to over the next couple of days. As we said, we're going to do a three-part video on this Gen 1 Rocket 3 touring here, where we're going to do a ram air induction transfer, put some day plate exhaust on it, and then do a fueling remap on it. We're hoping to stick probably another 40 horsepower up this thing's arse, which should make it a reasonable sort of bike.
Sure will.
This is a touring. It's probably 20 horsepower lighter than a roadster. Some of my mates, Adrian Cairns up north, got one that puts out 180 horsepower. You can put a roadster map into a touring, but you do have to do some additional engine changes, which really isn't where we need this bike to be. We want it set up for Kerry and myself to be just cruising around on, and we've got the big puppy here for that sort of stuff anyway. Now, the ram air setup is we're going to go to a single foam filtration that I've got in my hand here, which will come on the butterfly valves there and allow it to breathe. I'll quickly show you the reason why we're doing that upgrade and why we're going to shoot these videos over 3 different videos, because they're 3 different sections. At its time when this bike was produced, this was the largest motorcycle engine ever made, 2.3. It then got superseded with the Gen 2s, which are 2.5 litres. So the Triumph engineers did a beautiful job, built the world's most beautiful engines, and then the people in the office, to save the Zanzibar Sea Slug or whatever they had to do for their EPA controls, then put it on them to restrict the flow of the engines, both exhaust and intake. We've got cat converters both sides of the exhaust, cat converter in the crossover there. We're going to get rid of all of that, put some day plates on it. If you look here, this is where this bike sucks the air in for the engine through these 2 little holes right at the vacuum part of the bike, where there's no air getting through to it. Okay, so we're sucking underneath the seat through these 2 strips. This stuff just does my head in, Then we flow through this restriction there, through a 90-degree bend, in through a paper air filter there, down through a big S-bend, back up underneath the tank, and then it goes through about 1 metre of ducting across to the butterflies and then into the engine. When we do the air intake change, we're going to be removing all of that and just simply dumping the filters on top of the butterflies. There's a secondary set of butterflies in them as well, which I may be completely removing, or I may be leaving in and allowing the ECU to adjust them. I'm 50-50 on which way to go with that. I'm talking to some of my mentors over in England. Some say pluck them out entirely, some say leave them in and set a little bit of resistance on them at low revs. When we get there, we'll make our mind up closer to the date. At the moment, I'm probably leaning towards leaving them in and adjusting them to 100% actuation with the ECU. Day plate system going on this, as we discussed. We spoke last video about the Chinese cheap imports and that we don't use them. We spoke about the Vance and Hines, and Victor was the other mob that made the exhaust fan that you spoke about. So we'll do 3 videos on that. We'll do intake exchange, we'll do the exhaust refit, and then we'll do the remap and the refueling. And when we do that, that'll be the same as if we were to do it on a Gen 2. So that'll be a good video to run through, and then you'll know how to reflash your bikes using the Tune ECU. I did get a few questions about, just before we go on to that, you can see with the Gen 2, common sense has prevailed, and they then went back to ramming the air in through from the front of the bike, through a ducting, through the plenum and then straight into the engine. So with the Gen 2,
they've upgraded it.
We're back into the real world. This system here on the Gen 1 is absolutely ridiculous.
There's nothing
Why you would feed that bike like that is just pure wokeism, EPA madness. Anyway, we're going to resolve that, so I'm looking forward to that. That'll make that bike
It'll run cooler, won't it?
It'll run cooler, it'll run more powerful, it'll be much better. Okay, just quickly, with our exhausts, we spoke there before. I've done a bit of research. I spoke to Dave Platt over in Nottington in England there. He does do exhaust systems now for the Gen 2s. He does 2 different systems. He does a 3 into 2, which looks almost identical to the work setup. He does a 3 into a 3, which will bring another one over the other side. All of these systems are decatted, of course. The other brand that I failed to mention the other day was Zard exhaust, Vandermon.
Vandermon you already mentioned.
Yep.
What's the ones that go up in an angle that
Vandermons.
Yeah, don't get them, hey, because they'll burn you.
No. Yeah, Vandermon's a
Burn
good
your
system, but
side
just
bags.
be aware that if you've got side bags, you can burn them. Competition Works, Dave Platt's.
He's better. He's the best.
And as I said, we've got Meerkat here in Australia. My friend Billy Oakes currently got his original exhaust going down to be refitted as we speak. We're hoping to get it back next week. When it comes back, I'm trying to get Billy to bring his bike over here.
We'll take a look
And
at it.
we'll do the refit of the exhaust here, and that way we can have a listen to his bike with the original exhaust, have a listen to his bike with the Meerkat upgrade, and then have a listen to this thing with the Works, and we can compare them all. I need to give Billy a call, but I'm sure he'll be pretty groovy with that. Now, when I was speaking to Dave the other day on the phone regarding the Gen 2s, 2024 Storm models run 202 sensors. All 2024 US models run 202 sensors, and all 2025 models run 202 sensors. This is once again another EPA emissions control factor. This one's probably one of the last ones on 102 sensor. So when you buy your exhaust upgrades, you need to be very clear whether your bike is running 1 or 2 O2 sensors in the exhaust. Dave Platt does build them for both, and I believe Works are now changing their platform to produce a twin sensor exhaust as well. But this is very important that you get this right. When you order your exhaust, that you get one. If you've got a twin O2 ECU bike, you need to have a twin sensor exhaust, or you're going to be in big trouble.
Okay,
So,
and Meerkat would help them make that.
Meerkat is irrelevant because Meerkat is using, I can't show it to you, it's up in the thing. Meerkat is using the original exhaust that comes off the bike, and he's merely re-boring them out. So this is with your
New
aftermarket exhaust. Make sure that the exhaust that you get is either a single or a twin O2 sensor exhaust, and it matches your bike.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's about it for today. I
What
look
about the
forward to-
questions? Was there any questions that you had to answer on
I
the
think I've
comments?
just answered them. All the questions that I got were all regarding the exhaust. So I think
Perfect. Well
we're
done.
there, job's done. So I look forward to seeing you early next week. We'll be ripping this intake off. I'm looking forward to seeing what changes it makes to the bike. The day plate exhaust, and then the refuel and the remap.
Oh,
And
he's
I
back.
think you'll see that this bike will probably really come into its own. Then I'm looking forward to riding it. About 250, 260 up. Yeah. Around that's 150, 160 horsepower machine. It should be. Which I think will make it a lovely road cruiser. And yeah, we're looking forward to doing that. So I'll see you there, same bat time, same bat channel next week.
Woohoo!
And
Yes.
We'll
Looking forward
throw
to
the
it.
intake into it and start getting it underway.
So it'll be 3 parts. Part 1, part
There'll
2,
be 3 videos.
part 3.
Yeah, intake, exhaust, and then we'll do an ECU remap and a refuel on it.
Cool. See you then.
Right, thank
Cheers.
you.